Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Allincrypto here, and welcome back on this special Sunday for another daily cryptocurrency market update. If you guys are new around here, every single day at 1 p.m. UK time, we release an update just like this one to help you stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to be starting the video off by looking at Tether, the issuers of USDT, which is the largest stablecoin in the crypto space, actually on Friday having added to their supply $1 billion worth of USDT. We're going to be going over and we're going to be looking at what is a very interesting correlation between Tether's market cap and its market cap size and the crypto space. And is Tether minting a precursor for a cryptocurrency market pump? We're then going to go over, and you guys will know that we have been speculating on a turn for risk on assets, which we've categorized as US equities, precious metals, crypto, actually bonds, and even real estate, that is largely going to be led and anchored around the dollar weakness. The dollar really started to gain strength with inflationary fears. Just to show you this, we were going to show you this yesterday, but the dollar and oil are very, very correlated. If we just use WTI's Brent, you can see the correlation here between oil and the dollar. And with oil rolling, remember that the dollar really gained strength as inflation started to become a bit sticky after a year of aggressive downtrending, brought on by obviously what's happening with monetary policy and a number of other things. The dollar gained strength, and this has been bad for risk. Just use the S&P, which will come up in Bitcoin orange to confuse everyone. You can see the S&P really turned along with risk at the point of dollar strength and really did well on dollar weakness. Are we about to have that dollar weakness? We are going to be talking about it. We're going to be looking at rates and forward implied rates, which are now coming down significantly after the sort of recent two decisions and forward guidance from the Fed. The Fed is still a hawk, but a lot less hawkish. And remember, markets are forward-looking. We could be looking at the dollar actually coming down to this lower band of the channel, which would accompany and fulfill our prophecy of a bull market that we believe started in 2023. For the stock market, it was a little bit earlier, November, really, 2022, and that actually is likely going to finish up end of 2024, 2025, when you're going to have the crash that everyone's been looking for. We've done a lot of studying on rates and the lagged effect, and we think we've got this generally quite right. Just to take a quick look at the week ahead, which we'll do after all of that. It's not a majorly busy week. You do have CPIs there, however. I'm going to talk about the altcoin market. Altcoins are ready to fly. Some of them already are, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully me and you guys are positioned for that, after what we've been talking about. If you want to find out what I'm buying and where, do consider becoming a Patreon. We've got 300+% targets for certain altcoins at the moment that we are looking to swing trade, as well as a portfolio that we've been building out over the past 11 months, ready for this moment. And we'll look at it from a number of different angles, like others, market cap dominance, etc., which is kind of predicting a real strength for altcoins over Bitcoin and Ethereum, along with the market cap that's looking to break out. So, as always, we have a lot to get into, guys. Let's start things off with the news from Tether. On Friday, Tether minted $1 billion in USDT, which is the premium stablecoin in the crypto space. And actually, there is a correlation that's often unspoken about. Just like there's a correlation with assets and the money supply, there's a correlation between stablecoin market caps and the Bitcoin price. And this is because often what happens with stablecoins, well, they're used to buy cryptos. They're used to go into farming vehicles in DeFi, and of course, buy and speculate on altcoins. And you can see, actually, if we look at when the last sort of bear market really started, it was very much in tune with the uptick of USDT. And if we look at things today, you can see a very similar picture that is being painted. Look at the bottom here and look at how it occurred pretty perfectly, including when we had a sticky period with Tether's market cap dominance. And this is because Tether is one of the preferred vehicles to actually go in and buy the likes of Bitcoin. I use it all the time. So this is very interesting. Is this forward guiding and predicting, further upside? Well, I believe that it is. You guys will know that we've assessed a bull market was in really since the start of the year, and the low had happened after FTX. And that prophecy is kind of playing out certainly for the likes of Bitcoin. We'll come back to Bitcoin in just a second, but let's sort of talk about the macro and really what we've been looking at. And we started speculating based on this weekly candle that a turning point for the dollar was going to occur. And since then, you've essentially just put in what can likely be defined right now as a topping range, which you have now broken to the downside of. And it's very interesting that we had technical reasons to suspect a turning after this real dollar strength based on inflation, not only looking at fundamental things like inflation, but there was technical reasons to suspect this downside. And now you have the fundamental reasons coming in. This is collapsing short-term rates. Fed over-tightening is slowing down inflation growth outlook, most misplaced policy in 30 years, as they ignore their own tenet that policy works with an 18th month lag. So we think it's 25 to 50 months typically. Although it has, the basis of us being bullish is very simple, right? And this is where we think the bears have got things unbelievably wrong, because they've not looked at technical, historical truths. They've only focused on emotional headlines. They've not looked at the fact that rates lag. Most people don't believe the markets go up when rates go up, but that's historically been the case. And you've essentially had rate hikes throughout the last 40 years that have always led to the stock market going on and putting in new highs. And almost 2 years, sometimes 2 years plus after it, you've had the crash. 2006 is when they started up in interest rates, into 2008. Prior to that, it was 1990s going into 2000s. Prior to that, it was into the 1989 crash. So on and so forth. And the same thing we believe is going to repeat. We've had the likes of Larry Fink come out and say a similar thing. You've got the Fed swap showing more than 100 basis points of easings priced in for 2024, looking with a first rate cut actually being priced in I believe it was May 2024. We'll see if that happens. We're not necessarily predicting that, but this, of course, is factoring in and giving you that dollar weakness as the dollar is sort of, all markets are forward looking. So there's fundamental reasons to now suspect our technical ones. We also looked at where the US dollar was with the JPY. Key technical level, just in time, literally perfectly in time for a key fundamental announcement from the Bank of Japan. So we are expecting that dollar weakness. That's going to be coupled with a good time for risk. We actually had, and we were absolutely expecting this, the biggest week for the stock market in a long, long time, guys. And that occurred perfectly at a retest of the point of breakout. We never had a proper retest of this. You're now retested. We still have higher targets. Many of our stocks went on and put in new highs. How's that going to transpire for the cryptocurrency space? Well, it's likely going to do well on the back end of it. Certainly, as we have technical reasons to suspect continued upside and a breakout against the SPY, not just the US dollar. So things are looking good. The week ahead that we're moving into is not particularly spectacular. However, there are, you've got a Royal Bank of Australia rate decision, rates forecasted to rise, which is going to be interesting. You've got the US trade balance, you've got US initial jobless claims, you've got UK GDP, which is going to be interesting for the dollar cross, and you've got US Michelin consumer sentiment. So it's not the most jam-packed week next week for economic data, but there is also a lot of sort of stock earnings to come out. So there is going to be some interesting things happening there. Your altcoin market, ladies and gentlemen, is ready to break out. This is likely going to break out to the upside. You've got a double bottom that's formed. We go into a lot more detail on all this on the Patreon, but this is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is yet to break out. Bitcoin has already broken out. It typically leads. This is likely going to follow and see that predicted upside. And to couple that, this is others dominant. So this is everything really except for Bitcoin, stable coins, and Ethereum. So your altcoin market. Now we have a projection of essentially pretty much new all-time highs for the, or just under new all-time highs for the others market dominance, which means you are about to enter alt season. And how we get that is with a smaller head and shoulders target that is going to present possibly a larger head and shoulders target. And once this breaks, it's all systems go. We think that Bitcoin has had a great run. It's really led things. And now you're going to get that pivoting into altcoins a lot sooner than what people expect. And later on today, guys, I'm going to be producing a video where we're going to look at 3 small altcoins that all technically look ready. And we're going to use similar technical analysis to what we looked at with Solana just before we had this epic run. And we are going to suggest that these altcoins are going to do a similar thing. You've got altcoins setting up across the board. We were very, very right on Solana in regards to the direction we thought it went. Unfortunately, I puked my trade out here. Couldn't really hold on to it because of risk management, only for it to then go up and give us, well, what is this? That'd have been a yearly salary trade for most people for me. But that's the way the game goes. There's going to be plenty of other opportunities, and we're going to make sure that you stay up to date with them and hopefully get on board. So everything is sort of going as according to plan. We'll see if it continues to do so. We'll keep you up to date on a daily basis. Do not forget, guys, to go and check out allincrypto.com. We've just implemented price charts and price feeds where you can create your own lists. Keep up to date from a technical perspective also on all these cryptos. Look at them in various different ways. Monitor them on a day-to-day basis, and also you'll get the latest and greatest news. And don't forget to come and follow me at Twitter at realallincrypto, and of course, like, comment, and a subscribe is always appreciated. That's really all I've got for you guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Have a smashing Sunday, and I'll catch you all on Monday. Thanks for watching.